Morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'll just go ahead and jump right into it. So yeah, my name is Riley. I'm a writer, music feature writer here at Mixdown. And yeah, so I know that, all lost, you all just released a new album, Zoom at 85 in October last year. It's your first album in 4 years. And we've seen you state multiple times, how this is a new era for you, which is just so evident. And I feel how sonically expansive the album is. We see you
Yeah.
departing from your typical roots as, garage, surf, and psychedelic rock to, drawing more inspiration from experimental and electronic sounds, 70s pop, Lou Reed, what all led you all to make this decision as a band, turn the page, and how does it feel to enter this new era?
Um, I
Mm-hmm.
think that I think that it was kind of I think it was more a natural progression than maybe is has been led on. I think that we made the first three records like 2 years apart, and then the fourth was like two and a half, almost 3 years. But I think after the with the amount of time that we like got to kind of step back from all that with the pandemic, I think like we had it just kind of like gave us some space individually and
Mm-hmm.
collectively, from the cycle of touring, making a record. And when we came back together, we just kind of had, all this time had passed and we had everything felt fresh again, and we didn't feel like encumbered by maybe like the expectations of an audience, or what we felt we needed to provide, based on our history. So we just, we had new ideas, we were into new and different things, and we basically, we said, whatever, like, fuck it, let's do what we like. Let's be as creative. Let's not skip any ideas. Any idea that comes to mind, we're gonna record it, we're gonna put it down and see what sticks. And we did that, and we had a great experience in the studio. And it kind of pulled it out of us in a lot of ways, that space. So yeah, it was just a new kind of approach to making a record that we hadn't had before, and it felt really nice. It felt really liberating.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like especially, like with the pandemic, giving you all some time to think about stuff and, like grow together or grow individually and then to come
Yeah,
back and, grow together. Like, I feel like that's really powerful. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people saw in the pandemic was, just how, yeah, much time and space like that could develop for people and in turn help
really.
when you come back together. Yeah. So, now that things are relatively back to normal, is that something that as a band you all still prioritize, like trying to grow individually as artists, so make sure you keep things fresh when you come together? Mhm.
Yeah, I think, especially now that we're a little older, all of our lives have, it's not like when we started the band, we were hanging out, the four of us, all the time, always, jamming and doing stuff. And I have a baby now. Pedram's got his side project. Like, Matt's doing photos. Spencer's living on a ranch.
Mhm.
We all live like an hour from each other. And we get together a lot, or we see each other out a lot. But yeah, we do kind of have our own kind of little bubbles that we exist in, and it does make it a little more, I think, interesting to collaborate, and to see what other people ideas they can bring to the table, and that have those be different than what something that's completely out of left field, or something you would never think of, an idea of this person having, because they've been doing different things than you. So I like that. It makes it more interesting.
Yeah, and I feel like that is really how you push forward, as artists, is like, doing something that's, I feel like, what is not expected of you. Because I feel like when
Right.
you do continue what's expected is how you get into, like boxes or just like feel like producing similar sounds when you want to expand. But
Yeah.
and you mentioned that it was like a natural decision for you guys. And, so do you see this sound changing in the future? Like, do you guys see you
Yeah.
decide to change it up again?
I don't. I mean, we never. I would like to reiterate, we never like sat down and decided like, oh, we got to really change. We were like, we got to make this. We want
Mhm.
this album to sound like this. We've never done that with any of our records. Um, and I foresee the sound changing because we're already listening to different things than the influences that were on the last one, and that will filter itself into whatever we create, and whatever, wherever direction we move forward in. But I think overall we're just more comfortable with doing whatever we want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that goes perfectly. I was going to ask, like, what other artists do you see possibly influencing your future sounds? What have you all been listening to?
um
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't want to lead too much, but probably some more electronic stuff, some more,
Mhm.
maybe some dub, some. I think a lot, just a lot, maybe some dancier stuff. We'll see. I don't want to lead too much because maybe not. But
Yeah.
I don't
Got
know.
to keep things open-ended.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
and
yeah,
then
yeah. Go
mhm.
ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, speaking on, like the process of making this album, I did see how, you guys specifically came in with just like a lot of riffs and, like ideas, unfinished songs, giving that like more organic approach and, wanting to prioritize like what happens when you guys come together to make art versus having that plan. So like,
Yeah.
was this a very natural decision for you guys? I think you did say it was really natural, but, like, how do you think it impacted the sound, like the feel of your album versus, things you've done in the past? Mm-hmm.
I think it left it really open ended, and we had, kind of, we had a comfortable amount of time to just be in the studio. And the studio we recorded at is up in Stinson Beach. It's actually not there anymore, sadly. Otherwise we would love to go back, but just a really beautiful environment and great place to, I don't know, not only make a record, but just to exist in. We could hike down to the beach through like the coastal rainforest in the morning and jump in the water, and I would just like put on headphones and listen to things we had recorded the previous day, and get ideas that way, and everybody else would do the same in their own capacity, and just kind of everybody felt there and present, and contributing to something together, as opposed to any one person kind of leading the effort or anything like that. And in that way, um everybody, when everybody feels comfortable and included, and contributing to a art project, whatever you want to call it, like that, I think that it pulls more ideas out of people, and they feel more comfortable contributing. And when that happens, you get a better end result, and you get a more diverse and interesting end result. And yeah, did I answer the question, or did I just completely
No, you definitely answered the question. And I was actually going to ask, specifically about your time at the Panoramic House, in
yeah,
Stinson Beach. It's a shame that it's closed. Yeah, I didn't see that
no,
it was, yeah, closed. I feel, yeah, like that's really important, actually. I feel is the environment in that's being made when you are creating. And I feel like, yeah, it's something that I think can contribute so much to just like the feel and like, yeah, I feel like having that open space to create where everyone feels safe and comfortable is really important.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and so Zuma 85, it was released on Calico Discos, your own label. How was that experience working in collaboration with Innovative Leisure? Did it allow for any more, like musical or conceptual freedoms?
First, I mean, we're really thrilled to be back with Innovative Leisure.
Mhm.
They're an amazing label and amazing guys. Then they have always been super supportive, and have, allowed us to basically do creatively whatever we see fit. So in that sense, I mean, it's just something that we have wanted to cultivate, to put out records for our friends. And they were kind enough to allow us basically to put our name on there, so that maybe we can get a little bit of an identity, and people can associate the label with us, and get that out there.
Mhm.
But they've never been, anyone to kind of stifle us creatively, or try to lead us or direct us in any direction. So yeah, it's the same experience on our end, but we just wanted to get the name out there a little bit, and they're kind enough to let us do so.
Yeah, no, that's great. Do you guys see you doing more work with, your label this year upcoming? Are you hoping to get more bands on there?
Yeah,
Mhm.
we are definitely.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of extra work for us, but it's something that we'd like to focus on this year.
Mhm.
Yeah, we do have a couple things in the pipeline, so those will come out soon.
Great. I was gonna say, yeah. And like having a career that, spans over 12 years and 5 albums, do you have any rituals or, traditions that you follow when you release a new album? Do you do anything special when you release Zuma 85? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, what do we do? I don't know. We like to go to Musso and Frank and
Mm.
have martinis and eat steaks, but that's about it.
Oh no, that sounds like a perfect
Yeah,
celebration.
no, nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that.
And then as Allah lost, you all are distinctly Southern Californian, and you all met and found your start working at, Amoeba Records. What does Amoeba mean to you guys as a group? Mm-hmm.
Full disclosure, I never worked at Amoeba.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the only one.
Mm-hmm.
I did apply for a job, and I was told that they weren't hiring any more surfers, and that was that. But I think Amoeba still played a huge role in my life. It was the place that I would, when I ditched high school, I would drive out there and spend the day flipping through the stacks and the racks and it was basically like another community that existed that I found comfort in outside of where I was growing up and the school, the high school scene and everything like that. And that Amoeba in conjunction with just like the Echo Park music scene and everything, and like that was became kind of, like an more of a community and an identity more than that I had been kind of looking for in an effort to escape
Mm-hmm.
like the what I saw as the monotony of like the South Bay scene and everything. Um, so that yeah, it was a community, and I think those guys obviously felt that even more so. And a lot of they made a lot of friends, and that's like the first show we ever played was through a coworker having a house party in from Amoeba on Halloween, and it was like 2 weeks after we started jamming together. We didn't have any songs. We just kind of jammed in front of people, and somebody's like, "Oh, it sounded pretty good." So we're like, "Really? We're gonna keep doing this then." So here we are, 12 years later.
Yeah,
15.
no.
It's
Yeah, that's really
2008.
special.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a really special memory. And I feel like, yeah, that just highlights the importance. I do think, like, especially in today's world, with like everything moving online, I feel like it really is important to have those spaces, like, especially musically, where people, I feel like,
yeah,
yeah, can find that community and can really, I feel like, have those isolated, I guess, like musical moments in cities. Like, I do feel like it's really important to have those spaces.
yeah. I agree.
Yeah, so I just have one more for you, but like what are your all's plans for 2024? Can fans expect a full tour or I know you talked about a little bit about your label, what can fans
Yeah.
expect coming up in this new era?
The early part of this year we're focusing on writing and getting some new recordings done. Then we're going to be touring in April in the west or the eastern half of the United States. um and then probably some touring later in the year as well, but we focus, I think a primary focus is getting new recordings done and hopefully having a new record out for next year, so we don't want to wait another 4 years.
Yeah, well, it partially, wasn't y'all's fault. I feel like, with
Yeah,
COVID and everything, it was really hard to get stuff
true.
through. Mhm. But yeah, and then are there any plans, for y'all to continue your podcast, Reverberation Radio? I know some people are hoping it makes a comeback. Mhm.
We need to do that. We've let it go by the wayside for too long. We basically uh need to kind of reformat it and figure out a way to make it so we're not just spending money doing it. But we'd love to get it going again. Yeah, we've talked a lot about it. That's one of the goals for this year as well.
Yeah. Well, great. Thank you so much for spending or taking some time to talk to me. It was a wonderful conversation.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Riley. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank you.
All
Bye.
right. Nice to meet you. Take care.
Nice to meet you.